This is the Budget Wargamer review of the Beyond the Gates of Antares starter box. They call this Strike Vector 1, the Xilos Horizon. So this is probably the first of a few different proposed starter boxes that are coming out with, but this review is going to be a little bit different than some of our other reviews in the sense that this box is massive. Not necessarily in terms of the height and width of it, but I've got a sense that if you stuck this under your pillow at night, the Wargames fairies would come by and give you blessings by the morning. So they do an awesome job on all the Warlord Games boxes of trying to cross promote. So here you can see that they've got the Bormites, Freeborns, Algarin, some more Concord and stuff, just to sample it, and then they show you some exquisitely painted examples of the miniatures that are within the box. This is one of the captains here, and this one's actually a limited edition box, not the normal starter box, but just this one in particular because it's one of the first pre-orders. So there's going to be a little content inside of it that is not included in most of the starter boxes, but just to give you an idea, like, holy cow, all the different models that are inside the starter box. You've got the Concord troops over here. Everything's plastic except for this leader. I don't know his name yet. I'm new to this game. And then the 6 plastic Ghar assault walkers. You've got the different dice for each faction because it's a blind draw system. If you've played bolt action before, very similar. You've got different dice for the attack results and so forth. You've got your what I assume is going to be pin markers. I don't really know. And then a full hard plastic template that comes in there, and there's the real moneymaker here, the rulebook. Separately, the rulebook is $50, which sounds crazy for an off-brand game, but let's go ahead and give you a sense of what $112 gets you with Beyond the Gates of Antares. Just to give you a sense of the scale of this game, pun intended, let's go ahead and look at the scale. So it's zeroed out right now. Oh, the one-handedness. Ugh. I don't think this thing was cheap to ship. Coming from England, weighing in at, you tell me, somewhere in the 5-pound range, maybe. It's just massive, and that's with plastic contents for the most part, people. So this is crazy. That's what I mean by this thing is just going to be blessed by the Wargames fairy at night if you put it under your pillow. So let's give it a good shakedown. Real good quality box, by the way. Bam. Full to the brim. Actually kind of peeking over the edge there. So packed with goodies. And the first thing you're going to notice, full hardback $50 rulebook included in the $112 box. So that's the same whether you buy the starter box or whether you're like me and got one of the first starters and ended up getting limited edition contents. Little cross promotional material here in case you don't play bolt action or some of the other Warlord games. They're really getting into it, and Warlord's one of those companies that was I'm sure they were founded by them, but a lot of their employees are ex-Games Workshop. Paul Sawyer, Rick Priestley, people like that are just really involved in the early parts of Games Workshop, the 80s and 90s, and what made it awesome, at least from the game's sake back then. So a little quick start guide. We'll go through this quickly because this will tell you, how to do the measurement, how to do the actions and things like that. Quick reference sheet. Not just a quick reference sheet, but conveniently used as a box separator to keep the rulebook from utterly smashing the rest of the contents. So looks like I'll have to trim the edges off there, but awesome, because having a quick reference guide when you're getting new to a game, or even when you're into a game for quite a while, just really helps resolve looking up so many of the minor rules and modifiers when resolving actions. So this model right here, this is the only thing different about the limited edition box versus the normal box. So it's the Ghar special character, and he was supposed to be unique to the limited edition. I don't know if they're going to end up selling him at conventions and stuff like that, but He's one of the Ghar that's not in the suit, so I don't know the whole story behind him, but there we go, shake it away. He's kind of holding his head. Really tiny. I don't think those characters look like they would be very strong, but now this guy is the pewter character for the Concord. He is included in the normal box set, so even though he's in a separate blister, you know, kind of for resale, he's included in the normal set, unlike the little Ghar character that I got. Alright, so here is the meat and potatoes here. We've got those awesome orders dice. The Ghar get a black dice, kind of as a screwball type of rule that goes into the game. But we've got 4 different dice for the Ghar, plus the black random die for them. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 different dice for the Concord. So a lot of units in here, because each unit gets 1, and then the Ghar get the extra oddball die there, whatever they call it. Here is the size of the bases that the Ghar assault walkers are going to be using. So nicely branded, very, very thin. If you can see the bases, they're not much thicker than like a penny or a nickel. So they're not as tall and raised lip as the Games Workshop bases, but there is a little recessed lip here. Yeah, there's a better focus to kind of help hold your basing material in there when you're doing the modeling. So that's actually really cool. You know, 25 mil for the average troops. So these are for the Concord within the box. Let's go ahead and grab those. So you can tell there's going to be a lot of Concord, because here's 25 bases plus 5 more. Hey, that's 30. So, bam. Oh, I guess I was wrong. Each assault walker comes with its own base. So the other bases must be for something out of the Concord. These Ghar walkers are kind of all-inclusive. Interesting. A little bit like Matrix Sentinels here. Oh, yep, zooming out. Tons of detail on these assault walkers. We'll have to do a separate review of each of the contents separately, just to show what these are for the sake of time. But okay, well, these aren't yellow like the front of the box, but interesting, kind of like a nebula color. Way to go, Warlord. Clear stands. With the Concord, I'm going to have a lot of targeter probes, support weapon probes, and things like that. So I imagine that these little guys are going to prop those up. More of the assault walkers. So 6 of those, and then here's the Concord. These are basically brand new for this box, although they sell them separately. These are the strike teams, the probes. You got little probes here, and I guess these are more like support weapons. I've never played the game. I've seen some demos of it and stuff, but I'm real excited to kind of get in on the models, since that's my draw to wargaming. Sorry, trying to focus in there, but so we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those same sprues for the Concord. So that's kind of a good deal. Then we've got the different blast or pin markers, and then the different templates that are in there. Okay, that's just part of the box. So to give you a sense of the value of this box, so I said it was $112. You're going to get the $50 rulebook. Then you're going to get 6 Ghar assault walkers, or battle walkers, assault walkers. Each group of 3 retail separately for $32. So you got 32 plus 32, that's $64 of Ghar. You've got the character that's normally included. Factor in that he's probably about $6.50 by himself. You've got orders dice. They charge like $16 for like 10 normally. And then you've got regular dice. You know, those are like 50 cents a piece, $1 a piece, depending on where you're buying your dice. Then the templates, I think these range about $10 by themselves. They do sell these separately in case you don't buy the starter box, because there's other armies other than the Ghar and Concord. Same thing with the blast markers, $8 to $10. And then the Concord. They sell Concord in a plastic box. It's actually 10 models, so you get 2 sprues, $32. So $64, $64, $50, $6.50, $10, $10, $10, $12 there. It's just massive.